Hello, I am not Corinne. Wait,
Corinne?
wait.
Corinne, no.
Hi, I'm not Joe.
I'm not Corinne.
And welcome to the third episode of the Seventh Sea.
Hey, Corinne, you
No.
want to explain what your thought process was right there?
No, I do not. What up? I'm Corinne. I'm 17, and I never learned how to think.
Welcome back to yet another installment of the Seventh Sea, and although we're a little late, happy Thanksgiving. Corinne, we've amassed quite the little audience, although I will admit I low-key got a heart attack over the show the other day.
Joe, you get heart attacks over everything. That doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Wow, you have a panic attack in A-Push one time, and they never let you forget it.
You physically assaulted Briley.
I apologized afterwards, didn't I?
Did you?
Did I?
Briley's okay. That's what matters.
Is Briley okay?
We think she's okay.
I don't know. Well, what I was gonna say is that I keep track of all the ratings on each episode we publish because that's me. And the first episode went really well, so I was expecting to see a similar trend in the second episode. But when I went on my Spotify stats board, the numbers were almost completely cut in half. So I was freaking out because I was like, well, what did we do wrong? Did that many people not like us after one episode?
I mean, to be fair, have you met us?
True. But I kept refreshing the page and checking every few hours because I'm obsessive, and the numbers weren't really going up that much, but then I had a big brain moment.
We published it on YouTube.
And sure enough, when I checked, we had over 100 views and like a dozen likes and a couple comments too. So I guess you could say the numbers started adding up. Dun dun dun.
You're never gonna stop, are you?
Nope, never.
So we actually do have a little treat in store for you guys today, and it's not just Joe's terrible puns,
Hey,
because you guys get those for free every episode.
words can hurt, Corinne.
Good. I hope they do.
Okay, well, Corinne has actually brought in one of her friends from another high school.
So coming all the way from Liberty High, please welcome
Skyler Poodry.
So, Sky, you want to tell us just a little bit about yourself? That way the viewers get to know you.
Hi, I find reading hard, and I like it when ducks make noises. Makes happy.
Duck make brain
Where
go
did you
burr.
find this one?
Street.
Yeah, I found her on a street corner. She looked really sad, so I just kind of picked her up.
Well, because we have a guest with us here today, we're going to dedicate the time we would have used to talk about articles or senior suggestions to hold a live interview with Sky on her perspective of how schools are handling distance learning. But we have to save the best for the end, so in the meantime, we're just going to jump right into Nielsen Nitpicks.
So, apparently not only am I not allowed to talk about government conspiracies anymore, but I'm also not allowed to hate essential parts of the human body, such as knees, which, by the way, I'm still coming for yours, just so you know. But,
What?
since I can't hate on them anymore for the time being, today we're going to be talking about TikTok.
Be advised, the following content has been labeled with a trigger warning, as some listeners may find it offensive. Why? I don't know, but it felt necessary to say.
Y'all, the TikTok algorithm sucks. Disclaimer, please do not go searching for my TikTok. I would rather not be harassed on the internet. Thank you.
Aw.
But anyways, I will spend hours editing a video for TikTok and have it get 10 views. But then I show my grandma a picture of an anime boy and have her tell me if she would let me date them or not. And suddenly, 50,000 something views later, and I have 7,000 followers. What? How is this what you want from me? Is this what you guys came here for?
Well, I did see those videos, though, and they were kind of hilarious, so I can't blame them.
You know, that's kind of fair. The comments on those videos are even better because there are so many people who are mad at her because she said I could date an arsonist.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Take a breath. It's okay.
It's fine. But that's not what I'm talking about right now because, well, yes, I am salty that my TikTok followers like my grandma more than me. But,
Your grandma's cuter.
She is. That's why they want to see her more.
you know,
See, Sky agrees.
you guys are right. I mean,
Big sad.
but anyways, that's not what this rant is about. Well, I guess kinda. But I truthfully used this rant because I wanted to talk bad about one of my friends. And I'm gonna send him this podcast. He will watch it because he knows who he is. And I'm not gonna say his name. You know who he is.
I know who he
You
is.
know who he is. We all know who he is, but you guys are not going to. But found my TikTok. And I don't know how he found it. He probably stalked my other social medias to find me. But he decided that he was going to go through and spam like me. Because what else would you do? Well, for those of you who are not involved in TikTok or just don't know how the algorithm works, spam liking is very bad. Very bad. So basically what spam liking is you go through and you like a bunch of posts at once. And let me tell you, he liked over 70 posts in less than a minute. Like, I have no idea how he did that. I was shocked. I didn't even know I had some of those posts on there. I didn't know that. Like,
That's kind of stalkerish. Just a little bit.
That's him.
I mean, then again, he did find my phone number in 7th grade, and I don't know how he got that either.
You have great friends, Corinne. You
I
have
do
the
have
street
great-
urchin and, stalker boy.
Yeah, and then don't even get me started on the other two.
We're not going to go there.
We're not going to go there. They know who they are too. One of them wanted to come on the podcast, but we told him no.
For a good reason.
For a very good reason. This isn't the
Anyways.
same friend, by the way. The one who's not allowed on the podcast is not the one who spam liked my TikTok, just so you guys know. But the TikTok algorithm sees spam liking as very, very bad. That is not a good thing because it tells TikTok, people are not watching these videos all the way through, which means they don't deserve to get watched. So TikTok will just stop promoting your videos and you will get nobody who sees them. I had 2 weeks worth of videos that I recorded and posted and edited and whatnot that got 20 views maximum.
It's okay. I saw them.
It's 20 more than I get, so
You don't even post half the time.
I keep my account private for very specific reasons.
You know, that's
Same,
fair.
Right? Mm-hmm.
You know, that's fair.
Not that I have a
I-
TikTok.
No.
What? Or a TikTok hat and gloves. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Anyways.
I never expected to have 7,000 people who for some reason like my content. I don't know how this happened, but shadow banned is not fun. I don't like being shadow banned. I crave attention. I don't get enough of it. Please give me attention, TikTok.
Poor girl.
But yeah, anyway, that's not a vibe, but I guess that's just how Corinne sees it.
Now on to our next segment. We're flipping to a new page in the Ziegler Dictionary of Random Words. Now I'll be honest with you, and Corinne can attest to this. Every time we prep for a new episode, I practice how to pronounce these words because I want to sound smart,
We'll be sitting there writing our script, and for this script, we were sitting completely in silence as I was sitting there typing, and then all I hear is Joe really quietly whispering into the phone this word.
I mean, yeah, I can't even deny it. And we all know about the dictionary option online where you can play the audio and hear it being spoken. Well, no lie, I played this audio over and over again because, like Corinne said, I needed to get it right, but I couldn't get the syllable emphasis right no matter how many times I tried. So I need y'all to appreciate the fact that I have worked to pronounce this right. So today's random word is infinitesimal. Infinitesimal is an adjective that means something immeasurably or incalculably small, just like my will to live.
Joe, I don't think we can say those jokes on here.
Oh, we can't? Okay. Just like my patience in the Starbucks line. Is that what the kids are doing these days? I don't know.
The pandemic's really hitting you hard, isn't it?
You can't imagine.
You know, I feel that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna move on. I'm not traumatized by 8 months of quarantine. No.
Why would we be?
No.
It's not like we need human interaction or
Nah,
anything.
it's
Why would-
overrated.
Why would we need humans? It's useless, just like our knees. But that's a different rant.
You've got this weird thing with knees. Should I be concerned?
You know,
Yes.
probably.
Please be concerned.
Shh.
What have you seen?
Quiet.
What has she
Sky.
done to you? It's
No.
okay. You're safe.
Nothing yet. That's gonna happen on December 9th.
I'm not even going to address that. Today's next segment, Overthinking Thoughts by Joe. Today's overthinking thought is talking on a group call. And I know I've panicked about how my voice sounds before in a different episode, but this is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the awkward moment when you and another person speak over each other in like a WebEx meeting, and you're
speaking over each other is awkward?
Is speaking over people?
Is
awk-
speaking
is
over?
speaking
Is this
over-
awkward
is
for
this
you,
awkward
Sky?
for you?
Is this
Is
us being awkward? Is
awkward?
this really awkward? Joe, is this awkward?
I don't feel safe here.
You should never feel safe.
World isn't safe.
You know how like when you're talking over a person and then you're just like staring at their boxes like on the screen because it's all lit up, and you're waiting for someone to take initiative, but you both have your camera off, so you can't even like see the facial cues, and then you like immediately mute yourself, so you have no idea what you should say. I hate that. I hate it so much. But at least like in a WebEx though, you have the teacher who's kind of like facilitating everything, so they can at least like call on one of you and just like figure it out for you. But like in a Discord call, anarchy reigns. Like there's no facilitator. So, well, yeah.
Speaking of Discord anarchy, this is a little bit of a tangent, but the other night, this was Friday night? No, Saturday. It was Saturday, I think. It was either Friday or Saturday. I don't know which. My time perception is warped. But
That's fair.
anyways, my friend and I decided to do something amazing. We decided that we were going to stay up for 28 hours
Oof.
on call with each other.
Why?
Well, you see, originally that wasn't the plan. The plan originally was that we were going to stay up long enough so that when our friend who was in another time zone 3 hours ahead of us, well, ahead of me, but woke up, we would still be on the call.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole point was to disappoint him. We just wanted him to be disappointed because he's the one who introduced the two of us. But at some point during the night, that changed. And we decided we wanted to stay on call for 24 hours at least. And we only ended the call when she fell asleep on the phone.
Oh.
Which was at about like 28 hours and 30-something minutes.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of an accomplishment, though.
Right?
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
For Corinne, it's an accomplishment.
I mean, it's
maybe.
not something that I wouldn't do normally.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Anyways, I'm gonna call out my D&D group, specifically Mr. Reganini, because he's our DM.
Wow, Reg. Wow.
I'm coming for you. Anyone who plays D&D knows that there's always like this awkward silence after one of the players finishes speaking, but before the DM like resumes his narration. And so Reg is our DM in the club, and so he'll usually give us several seconds to like respond or say anything like last things that we want to say before he moves on. But I'm slow. I'm not smart when it's 11 at night. I don't have the brain capacity to process information that he gives me because he's being all like witty and clever and like, ooh, and I'm just
Joe, why are you playing D&D at 11 at night?
because during the daytime I'm doing my homework like a good girl.
No, that's fair.
He. So I just get so frustrated because I finally am like, oh, I know what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna be like all witty and cool. But then he like moves on, and then we like talk over each other. And then it's just like this awkward moment where it's like, no, you go. And he's like, no, it's okay. And I'm like, no, it's not anything important. And he's like, oh, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. He's like, we all know what fine means. That's my Ben voice, by the way. And then I just waste everyone's time. But I guess what I'm saying is this isn't Reg's fault. This isn't the random kid in physics class fault or the teacher's fault. It's mine. I do this to myself. But that's why this is an overthinking thought.
You know, we love that for you, Joe.
I do.
But enough of my personal monologuing.
I think it's time for
Corinne's Conspiracy Corner.
So, I have a fairly spooky one lined up for
Spooky
you.
season is over. It is Christmas time.
I agree. I like what she said.
It's Christmas time.
You know what? your opinions are invalid. If I can still watch The Nightmare Before Christmas and have it be socially acceptable, then it's still spooky season.
Well, what
Wait,
about
wait.
Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving doesn't exist.
It doesn't. Christmas time exists in November.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
It's not spooky time.
No, it is spooky time. It's always spooky time in my goth
It is
IHOP.
the reign of Mariah Carey again. Just accept it and
Ugh.
bow to
Anything
her.
for you, Mariah.
All I want for Christmas is you.
You know, we're just
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
go ahead and-
Did you just... Homegirl just muted me. I do not approve.
I just muted both of them. For those of you who don't know, I reached over the table and pushed the mute button. But anyway, so
I am speechless. I am angry. I am
as you
upset.
should be, this is my segment. I'm the king. I'm assuming direct control now.
And yet when I physically assault someone, suddenly I'm the weird one.
Because
Okay.
everybody expects this kind of behavior from me, Joe. I'm crazy Corinne. You know this. I summon demons in the school bathrooms. I stay up for 28 hours on a Discord call.
You know, I'm starting to think we're not safe for Briley or anyone to be around, you know, Corinne?
Anyways, we should get on with Corinne's segment.
Oh,
yeah,
should we? Okay.
you're right. We totally should. So today I'll be discussing the shadow people. And you may be wondering,
Corinne, what are the shadow people? Tell us.
Is that how we're doing this today, Joe?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You're just going to cut me off like that?
Yes.
Disappointed, but not surprised. So the shadow people.
The shadow people, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the shadow
Uh-huh.
people. Uh-huh.
Tell me.
Of course, I will. So they're exactly what they sound like, to put it in simple terms. That way you dull-minded people can be on the same wavelength as me.
Why are you looking me in the eye? Why are you looking Sky in the eye? Oh, that
Dull-minded people are still people too.
Hey, yeah.
You know, that's fair. I don't know what a hexagon is, so who am I calling
You
dull-minded?
gotta count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Then what's the
sides.
5 one?
Pentagon.
Wait.
Penta. Like a pentagram.
Tell her,
Pentagrams
Sky.
technically have 10 sides. by all
Anyways, the shadow
technicality.
people, I'm Corinne now, according to Corinne, because she said she's not Corinne. The shadow people, actually, I don't know what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
Thank you. The shadow people are exactly what they sound like. Completely pitch black figures that look like shadows, except there is nothing that is causing them. And there are some pretty strange stories about them. But the weird thing is, no two people have reported the same thing happening. It's almost as if every single one of them is different.
Well, what are these experiences exactly?
Some people have reported just seeing them standing in the corners of room or walking down hallways, and they believe them to be guardian angels of some sort. But others have had far more sinister encounters. One Reddit user is where I read it. Wait, is that a pun? Is that what it is? Is it meant to be a pun? Hold on. Big brain time.
Huh?
Reddit. I read it.
She's a little slow too.
Yeah,
Was
okay.
that always? Was it meant to be?
I
a
really
pun?
don't think that's the purpose of this segment right now. We can discuss it, though.
You know, this isn't the purpose of that segment. I just had a revelation. But
Big brain time.
anyways, so one Reddit user went on to say how they woke up in the middle of the night to sleep paralysis, which if you guys don't know what that is, it's basically when your brain is awake but your body is not. So
Sucks.
you can look around the room with your eyes, but that's just about all you can do. To have a dark shadow figure sitting on their chest, holding them down, and they couldn't move or fight against it, which that
Mm-mm.
is not okay. That's so gross. But perhaps even you as a listener has seen one of these out of the corner of your eye, or when you're sitting home alone, see something darker than the pitch black that surrounds you as you're about to go to sleep. I know that personally I have had one of these encounters.
You know, I would say I'm surprised, but it's you, so I'm not. But
I'm offended.
for the sake of the podcast, what happened?
All right, so this happened when I was younger, but the memory is still a really vivid one in my mind. So my uncle was watching my cousins and I at my grandma's house while her and my papa were out of town, and I don't remember where they were. I have no idea. They were somewhere. But I decided to sleep in the king-size bed in their room because, why wouldn't I? I have a king-size bed to myself. Like, obviously I'm going to take that opportunity. So, I was lying there, awake, admittedly later than I should have been. But then again, this is coming from the girl who spent 28 hours on a Discord call. So, it was later than I should have been up when suddenly the TV I was watching turned off. Now, this was back when the Comcast remotes were universal throughout the house, so the living room remote could hypothetically work on the bedroom TV and vice versa. And so, naturally, I assumed that it was either my uncle silently telling me to go to bed or my cousins just trying to scare me. So, from my spot on the bed, I looked over to the side of me to the door to see a tall black figure in the shape of a very, very skinny man who was just barely shorter than the door frame, standing outside of the room. And obviously this freaked me out because I had no idea what it was at the time, and I watched as it stepped into the room and got like a couple steps in and just faded away into the darkness.
Nope.
So, obviously, little panicking me just sat there because I was like, So, after what felt like an eternity went by, but it was really only a few minutes, I stood up and checked both my cousin's rooms and the room where my uncle was sleeping, and all of them were fast asleep. So, none of them could have been the figure that was standing in the doorframe.
Okay, so Sky, let me ask you this. Have you had any sort of experience like that before?
So I have had something similar, but like not exactly, because my mom also saw it too. So we have a small black cat, and when she goes to get her food, she'll usually sprint down the hallway. So I was going back to my room, and I just see this black figure just run past me. So I get out of the way, like jump out of the way, because it's running at me.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom sees it go by too. And so I go, like, I'm like, oh, wow, she shouldn't be, like, running to me. I'm, like, gonna, like, say, don't do that. She's not at her food bowl where she should be. And so I go to the other side of the house, and she's sleeping in my sister's bed. And she never, like, we never saw her go back. So we may or may not have a small, like, black figure running around our house at night.
So, just curious, is this the same cat who has a thing for handbags?
No. That's the other cat.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
I got you.
What?
My cat likes handbags a little too much.
Maybe just a little.
That's the real conspiracy here. What is up with your cat?
We'll talk about that next episode.
That's another story.
I've said this before. I don't feel safe with these two. Please help.
You should never feel safe around me, Joe.
Okay.
Safety is never true.
Safety is a fake news.
You really struggled with that one, didn't you there?
I had something in my head and then my brain just went no and left.
Safety is the true falsity of this world.
See, she did it much better than you.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Well, transitioning away from the thought of our impending deaths and Sky's weird cat, well, we wanted to talk to you, Sky, about how Liberty High is handling distance learning. That's where you go, correct?
Yeah, I go to Liberty.
Gotcha. Well, it's always interesting to compare and contrast different schools' like strategies, during this time. So, what does a normal day look like for you?
Handling's a strong word, but so our classes start at 8:30 and we go to 12, and we have 25-minute class periods. So we don't get a lot done at all. A lot of times we miss out on important stuff that we need to learn. And yeah, so we have 10-minute breaks in between classes, and then in between our third and fourth period, we have a 20-minute break.
So how many classes did you say you have per day?
We have 6 a day.
6?
6. So we have all 6 of our class periods that we would normally go to, and we go to it every day, all 5 days of the week. It's not good. It's not fun. It's overwhelming.
I mean, I can imagine. I know. I mean, we have 8 classes, but we split it up to 4 a day, and then we switch.
Yeah. But that's always been the way Minarets has done it.
Yeah.
Like, even before the pandemic, we only went to 4 classes a day.
We lost what we had was our block days, where we'd only go to 3 classes on on Wednesday and Thursday, and then we'd have more time in those classes. We lost that.
Yeah. That's kind of frustrating. And I know last year when this all started, Minarets was using Zoom, but we've switched over to WebEx since then. What does Liberty use?
So we did Zoom last year too, and then we switched over to Google Meet. So we have our entire like online curriculum basically on Google.
Oh, okay.
So we have Google Classroom, and then from there we can go to our meets, we can go to all of our assignments, what everything they've posted that we need to do, attendance, all that stuff.
So it's kind of nice to have everything just right there in that one platform.
It is nice because that way, like if I'm working on a lot of assignments at once, I just have one tab that I can go to any of my classes from.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, we're split up, so we're using WebEx and Canvas, and I guess Aries too. Although I don't use Aries that much.
Neither do I.
We use Aries too, but that's because our school really loves pushing grades on its children.
Oof.
Anyways, but yeah.
School, who needs grades? Not necessary.
We're told to check all the time. No.
Yeah. Like, I know Minarets will, well, I mean, for grades too, but they're always like, check your emails and stuff because that's where all the announcements are. But just kids don't check. That's just the way it goes. So
a lot of my emails aren't even like important stuff. It's on classrooms that I can see it, but it gives you a reminder email. So I have over 1,000 emails, and a lot of it is pointless.
That gives me anxiety.
You.
I don't like that. I know back when we had Power School, I would get so sick to my stomach every time I had to open it because I was so afraid to see one of my grades had dropped. And it's like, who do I need to email? What assignment do I need to make up? It was really nerve-wracking.
Meanwhile, Joe, who has had a 4.0 GPA her entire high school experience.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I've had to work to keep it there, though.
Yeah.
It's fine. I haven't been graying prematurely. It's not healthy.
I know.
I think I was 16 when I found my first gray hair, but you know what? We're just learning everything about me today.
It's disgusting.
Well, I think that wraps up our episode for today. A very special thank you to Miss Sky for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
As always, our previous episodes are available on Spotify and YouTube. Please be sure to follow the 7th C on Instagram to get updates and interact with our polls and see some very fun behind-the-scenes content, especially from today's podcast.
Now, Corinne, I'd like you to take a second. We don't want a repeat of what happened earlier.
No, you're right. You're right. Okay.
All right. I'm still not Joe.
Wait a minute.
Oh, no!
You know what? Let's
how
roll
the
with
turns have tabled.
I'm still not Corinne. She's still not Joe. We don't know who this is.
I'm Gregory.
No. And the 7th C. and the 7th C is not Corinne. All right, then. I'm moving to Africa and changing my name.